And we not celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold your roll! Hold your roll! Hold your roll! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold your roll! Hold your roll! Hold your roll! 1, 2, 3! Turn that damn true,
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? Good to be with you on a Thursday. And I'm really asking you guys in studio, Matt Jones, Matt Travis. We did 3 days of work last week. This is day number 4. So are we tired? Are we energetic? Are we fired up about it? Or are we just like, come on,
Phil,
man,
I'm going to
let's
be
get this
honest.
over with.
There's a good possibility I'm not going to be here tomorrow. In fact,
Like
I'm going to go ahead and guarantee it. I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Like a really good possibility.
Yeah, like I'm taking tomorrow off. I'm going to make a weekend out of the day because it is, tomorrow's Kevin Nealon night that I've been waiting for months.
Oh,
and
how
months.
fun!
Yeah, we got our tickets back last February and it got postponed, but it sold out very quickly. So we'll make.
Does he do any weekend report in any of his stand-up?
I think he was probably one of the first Weekend Update guys that I really was a fan of.
Is that still their best bit?
It's still the one that if I'm going to watch any of it, that's
You watch
what
at
I
least
go
till then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it enough any longer to really know, honestly. It's tough for me to stay up at that late unless I got a game at 7 o'clock. I was asleep by like 9:15, 9:20 last night. Passed out on the couch with our third installment of the Die Hard series with the kids. And they enjoyed it. It went very well. You know how good that movie is.
I certainly do.
Yeah, but it's pretty rare, I guess, that the kids are awake longer than the adults. But last night,
and when you say you passed out, you just mean you went to bed early.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I said once I hit that couch after I've made dinner and everyone's satisfied and there's something on television, once I hit that couch, if it's after 8 o'clock, like it's my eyes are going to close. It's just how it works. That's passing out on the couch, as far as I'm concerned. Not like, not
like you didn't like
face
trip
forward
over
onto the couch and literally passing out. Sorry, no Matt Travis tomorrow. Matt Jones, you're good for tomorrow, right?
I'll be here.
Okay, good.
I'm going to miss you guys, that's for sure.
You will be missed.
You and your lovely lady are going to have yourself a great long weekend after you had a long weekend before. And, I mean, it's reason to celebrate, right? I mean, it's December the 1st. We're in our final month of 2022.
That's right, and I can start playing all Christmas music today.
You can that's exactly right, for all of the comebacks and everything. Matt Jones, any one of the songs that you have chosen or requested, because you don't choose the songs. When you come on halftime, you got to request to the music master, Matty T.
That's right.
So those all get thrown out all in the garbage because it's all going to be Christmas music coming from Matty T. Maybe a couple of Hanukkah songs if you get that klezmer.
There's not enough of them.
That's
the problem.
Yeah.
I only know the dreidel
No,
song.
there really aren't. So we can start building up towards the excitement of Christmas, Hanukkah, any of the other holidays, which leads to the most overrated of the holidays, of any of them over the 12 months of the year, New Year's Day. Not New Year's Day, New Year's Eve.
Amateur
New Year's
night.
Day is cool. New Year's Day is cool. Matt Jones, what do you like on New Year's Eve?
Oh, I'm
people
usually
make a big deal out of it.
I'm usually asleep. I remember I asked my dad one time, I was like, what are you going to do on New Year's Eve? He's like, well, I'll be asleep when the new year comes around. It's like, I don't do too much.
Last year on New Year's Eve, remember Arkansas played in the Outback Bowl New Year's Day, and that was an 11 o'clock kick, which meant an 8 o'clock air. So I think I tried to go to sleep at like 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I knew the rest of I was on the same floor as a lot of the players were in the hotel. And do you remember this, Maddie? Like we were right there by, it wasn't the bay necessarily, but it was a little strip of water that leads out into the bay, and there was a boat. There was a little marina there. There was a party boat that was angled towards our side of the hotel, and they were the ones that were having a great New Year's Eve. I mean, bumping. It was pretty tough to sleep. Those white noise amps come in really handy. So December the 1st, winter settles in. You get 2 weeks of school, 2 weeks of vacation. I guess it's 3 weeks of school this month, and then the couple of weeks of vacation. Holidays. All the people you saw in Thanksgiving, you get to see again, I guess. And you got bowl season coming up. So we now know, at least starting in 2024, at least a sense of what the college football postseason is going to look like. Now, look, the bowls. I think the word isn't importance. It's just with what we are going to see, and I guess we're still waiting for this mass exodus of players because it hasn't happened yet, Matt. There hasn't been like this huge exodus of players leaving through the transfer portal, which it feels like we were kind of led to believe this week that it would feel really crazy with the announcements of the players that would be leaving, and that hasn't happened yet. Maybe next week when the portal opens, it will, but it does feel like, there's going to be some bowl games that involve teams that are down to a skeleton crew. I don't expect you're going to ever deal with that when it comes to the college football playoff. You get 12 teams that are going to get in. Rose Bowl finally, Matt, figured out that if they wanted to be part of the playoff, they had to stop taking themselves too seriously. What was it the Rose Bowl wanted to do? They wanted to keep the 5 o'clock television window on New Year's Day. They were demanding being part of the semifinals, I think, every other year, and basically tried to treat themselves like they call themselves the granddaddy of all the bowls. Maybe they are, but if they're going to be part of the playoff, they got to be just like the other 5. So now it's right there in front of us, what this playoff will look like. I'm glad the playoff expanded, Matt. I think this will lead to some I think it'll lead to better postseason games.
Well, Alabama would be in this year. You look at some of the teams that would be in and some of the matchups. It would be Oregon might even be in too. So you'd have a couple teams out west. Ohio State would be in. Yeah. How many SEC teams you think you get? 4 teams from the SEC?
Every once in a while there'd be the possibility of it, but you do have. So I mean, you get the 6 top conference champions would make it into the playoff.
Wouldn't you think so?
The top 4, well, that's what it is. It's the top 6 conference champions will get in. I do like that they're putting an emphasis on winning a championship. Interesting how the top 4 conference champions are the ones that get a bye. Now, this hasn't been announced yet. It's just this is what it's going to be like when you read the writers who have their sources. That's exactly what it's going to be like. So there would still be at stake. It's not like if you're in the top 4 of the playoff, you can just sit on your laurels and think you're going to. I think you still have to put in for a really good performance in these championship games and at least get a win. But it's interesting, like Notre Dame can never get a bye. As far as I understand, Notre Dame, if they ever do make it to the playoff, which I assume they will at some point, they don't get a bye no matter what because they're not in a conference. You got to be a conference champion in order to get that bye, which is going to be a pretty valuable thing.
Well, if they went undefeated, don't you think they would be like grandfathered in somehow? You don't think
Not
so?
Unless there's some special language that's thrown into the contract.
That's what I mean. I bet. Wouldn't you think so? If they won all their games, I mean, people love Notre Dame.
They're already treated special by being sort of part of the CFP without being in a conference, and it's the conferences that banded together to form this playoff, and then Notre Dame was brought into it. So what I'm seeing here is if they're not going to give the Rose Bowl special treatment because of the way the Rose Bowl views themselves, I don't think they would give Notre Dame that special treatment either, of even if they're undefeated and beat everybody by 200 points. If you're giving a bye to conference champions, and they do put an emphasis. Do
they feel like a Big Ten team to you? What conference should they be in? Not ACC. I know the ACC is not necessarily on the coast as much anymore, but
yeah, I mean that's
Big Ten or Big 12. What would Notre Dame? Because I don't think they feel SEC.
That's been part of that conversation ever since the conference hopping of a couple of years ago, and the feeling that maybe Notre Dame would need to join a conference, and I don't know if we're at that position just yet.
Yeah.
I guess geographically they fit more into the Big Ten, although the ACC is not necessarily that far. But they've been part of the ACC for years now.
Put them in that South Division, make it a little better in the Big Ten, with Purdue and Illinois. I mean, that's kind of what was that, the weakest division at all the
Well, that's the one that's ripe for the picking,
Right.
Because on the West you get what? Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and then as far as the
You got Iowa,
division,
Illinois, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It was Michigan State.
Nebraska. It's just sort of ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
Alexa, stop talking. You guys ever have an Alexa that just won't shut up?
Dude, sometimes she talks to the television. It's like nobody's even saying anything to her.
It blows my mind with some of these pieces of of technology. I was talking to you. I don't remember saying the magic word. I try to never say the magic word unless I'm talking to this stupid round dot.
Yeah, if anybody on a TV show has any similar sort of name, she's going to start responding to everything they say.
Yeah, they're gonna no more Alexandras in TV shows. I wasn't talking to you.
My Alexa is so dumb. She will respond to the commercial for Alexas on television. It's like, you stupid lady.
Smart. Yeah, we got to take the word smart out of some of these technology pieces. Sorry, you get your top 6 conference champions in, 6 at-large teams also get in. You realize, like, for right now, the college football calendar is going to go to the middle of January because they're pushing. You're going to start the playoff. The first round would be 3rd week of December, and those would be the campus sites. The quarterfinals, which is where the New Year's 6 bowls come in as the host sites, would be around New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which right now that's when your semifinals are. So everything's getting pushed back a week. And Ross Dellinger, even from Sports Illustrated, even reported right now that there are, quote, serious negotiations, unquote, about moving the regular season calendar back 1 week, which would move the conference championship games to Thanksgiving weekend. I really love this idea. Then rivalry week is the week before Thanksgiving, which means that some of these stadiums that look a little bit empty for rivalry, they're not empty, but just not as big, the kind of crowds you usually get, you probably end up with the better crowds. I don't know what the Mizzou crowd would have looked like last Friday as far as if it was moved a week back, but you get more of that, I think, atmosphere and not having to worry about your Thanksgiving feast and everything. And then, we got a football game we want to go to in a day or two. I think moving everything back 1 week feels terrific. And then you're not really fighting with the NFL as far as the playoffs are concerned and battling over everybody's eyes. But somebody's going to end up playing like an NFL schedule in college football, Matt, because you're looking at 17 games if you play that first round and then make it all the way to the final game. Yeah.
When do you start watching the NFL more? Is it now that college is kind of over? You'll watch the bowl games, but do you? It's like maybe the NFL in the playoffs, or do you kind of follow it all year?
My NFL watching habits have changed, I think, a little more since I got involved in the Razorback broadcast.
You watch the Steelers play though?
I'm a big Steeler fan, and I'll watch them when they're on, but I don't buy the package like I used to. Yeah. I don't go to some sports bar to go watch the game if not. If
you catch it, you catch it. I got you.
Games. Yeah. Well, and I missed Monday's game because I watched Arkansas basketball.
Right.
I'm going to watch the Razorbacks over the Steelers anyway because that's what we're usually talking about here on halftime. And speaking of halftime today, we got Bob Holt next segment. Clay Henry's with us for a couple of hours starting at 12. And then with high school championship games kicking off tomorrow, Nate Olson from Scorebook Live will give us his thoughts on the high school championship games for this weekend, plus your calls and texts on halftime. And Bob Holt from the Democrat Gazette will join us after this.
like paying your rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Matt Fowler with USA Mortgage, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2023. Go to hitthatline.com to enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 12th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year courtesy of real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Matt Fowler with USA Mortgage, and ESPN Arkansas.
Wanting to go big for Christmas this year? Wheeler Power Sports has you covered with a showroom full of youth off-road vehicles for the little thrill seeker in your life. KO four-wheelers starting at just $15.49 and dirt bikes starting at $12.49 plus taxes and fees. They're also stocked with youth Polaris and Kawasaki models, including the all-new Kawasaki Electrode stability bike. Family-owned and operated and keeping the good times rolling for over 50 years. Visit WheelerPowersports.com to see their full showroom and current promotions.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Metal Mart offers high-quality, prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shops, carports, and more. They strive to be the company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials you need to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Mayflower, Jonesboro, and Little Rock, or catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best-kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Make today more interesting with Betly's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betly, the only online sportsbook in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betly Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store, or visit Betly.com. With Betly, every game matters.
Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Should start with Bob.
It's time to talk with a unique individual.
You said you and Diva are OGs, old guys? Brett, you spoke so positively recently. I mean, did you expect this to happen?
He's a man of mystery.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky? Hey, it's Bob again. I think I'm unmuted now. I figured it out. Man, you win the lottery 3 times, get to go to Starkville.
A man whose incisive questions and rapier wit.
Hey, John, did I add a two-parter if that's okay? What did you mean? I'm sorry. I'm not that hip. Man, we got to get the Packers straightened out. Losing to the Jets, that ain't in Lambeau, that ain't good.
Have placed him on the Mount Rushmore of Arkansas sports writers.
What do you think about this?
Sure, Bob. The future in that, yeah.
Here he is, the one and only Bob Holt.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bob. How you doing? We've missed you for 2 weeks, man. I know I saw you in Columbia, but we didn't have you on a Thursday because we weren't on the air last Thursday. So it's good to have you again. How you been?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
What's up, Bob?
We're good, man.
Hey, man, how are you?
Getting back into the swing of things with this 5-day work week, and we just saw that Jordan Dominic announced he's going to return to Arkansas as a super senior on the defensive line. So I know, what did I see? Cam Ball. It's not that he announced he was coming back. It's so funny. Well, maybe not funny is the way to put it. It's interesting how you get even the players that are coming back. That are coming back are sort of putting out announcements. Like Rocket put one out. Cameron Ball, put one out. I think all it does is say that they're excited to be a Razorback more than anything else. Are you surprised, though, that we haven't heard of more players either, announcing for the draft or going into the transfer portal? Because we're kind of led to believe that this would be a crazy week, and I don't think it's been crazy just yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, that's big news, I think, for Arkansas to get Jordan Dominic back. He's had a really good year and been very productive as a pass rusher, and I think he'd be even better next year with more practice time, more reps, and so that's big news for Arkansas. And, I certainly didn't think. I mean, Rocket Sanders is not draft eligible, and I certainly didn't think he'd be moving on to another school. But I guess I don't know if that's something maybe the schools encourage him to do. Like, hey, we got all these, Twitter announcements about guys leaving. Why don't you say you're coming back? Or I don't know. But I guess the one guy, I'd be really shocked if Drew Sanders didn't declare for the draft and missed the bowl game. And I don't mean that as a knock on him or anything. He's had an incredible year, and I think he's probably going to be a first-round draft pick, certainly a second-round pick. And so I just don't really, if I'm him, I don't really see the upside in going and playing in a mid-level bowl game or 6-6 bowl game. I just don't see. I'm not speaking for him, and I don't have any inside information. It's just all logic to me points to Drew Sanders being a guy that's going to declare for the draft. There could be a couple others. You kind of wonder about Matt Landers. He's had a really good year. Or Trey Knox. Those guys. Now Matt Landers could not come back, but maybe a good bowl game. He's really come on the last couple of games. He's had a good year. And could a bowl game boost his draft stock? Some of the guys you might think, and Matt could probably speak to this more. Obviously, things have changed a lot since Matt played. But, is it better to sit out a bowl and not risk injury? Or if you're a guy that isn't like a sure first-round pick, should you play in the bowl game, maybe boost your stock even more,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all situational. I mean, you see what happened to Willis McGahee, and he was able to have a good career, but that was wild. It's. I mean, if you're a first round pick, I think everybody that's just kind of, if you're just playing in a 6-6 bowl game, then I don't think anybody says anything about it.
Yeah, I agree, and I would never blame any player if he decides, hey, I've had enough, and I'm going to focus on the draft. I mean, most of these guys have given, 4 or 5 years to Arkansas or to college football, maybe at different schools, but I think they've definitely earned the right to make their own decision, and I think it's good. I know the transfer portal can create a lot of chaos, but I think it's good. Players can have some free movement, do what they think is best. Maybe it's getting a little overdone, but maybe if a guy transfers a second time, maybe he should have to sit out a year. I don't know, but and it's good that they're getting these windows for you have to transfer within this window, so you're not losing guys in August or something. But I think it's good that the players have a lot more freedom now than they used to, because the coaches move around freely and within the conference often, and so why shouldn't the players have that same freedom?
Yeah, I think most of the players want to play. I know most of the guys there. When I played, that we all wanted to play. Whenever it was a game, man, let's go play. That being said, who are some players maybe that might step up this in the bowl game?
Well, of course, we saw Paul step up against Missouri, led him in tackles when Bumper was out. Bumper's obviously out for the bowl game. Surgery's career's over, but I think he's a guy. It'd be interesting to see what they do at center. I think they might. I'm trying to remember if it's Bowl. I think it's Limmer that moved over to center at the end of the Auburn game. So I assume they would do that, and then maybe you see some shuffling. Maybe Tykees Crawford gets another start in the bowl game. He started against LSU, and I know he had a bit of a rough game, but he was trying to block Harold Perkins, who, if he wasn't a freshman, he'd probably be a first-round NFL draft pick right now, despite his age. So Tykees Crawford's a guy we might see. With Jaden Hazelwood leaving, and I'm not saying Matt Sanders shouldn't play in the bowl game. I don't know, but a guy like Isaiah Satania, he was a guy that they talked about who had was really looking good in fall camp. Then he got hurt. He hadn't played much. One thing Sam Pittman does that I think is real smart is, he wants to preserve those redshirts for those freshmen if they haven't played a lot, and he wants them to be eligible for the bowl game so that they have extra motivation for the bowl practice. I think that's real smart. And so a guy like Isaiah, I think he's healthy now. Maybe he steps up and helps out that receiving crew. Those would be some young guys I think about.
I kind of think you'd need something from Jordan Crook too, because Bumper isn't going to play with surgery. Drew Sanders declares for the draft. That's both of your starting linebackers, and I know Pooh Paul could slide up into a starting role, but after that, it's your linebacker depth is a little thin as far as guys that have had some playing time, and they've given Crook some time each of the last 2 years, but it's been minimal. Maybe like a Jackson Woodard or something like that. And what this leads to, Bob, is I just wonder if there's going to be a point where there are so many defections from a team of players that have declared for the draft or decided that they're transferring that you could end up with potentially a team that is assigned to a bowl game that either has to decline the bid or opt out a week or two later because they just don't have enough players at certain positions. I think that's going to, I don't know, I think that might actually happen this year, depending on what happens in the next week and a half to 2 weeks.
Well, A&M opted out of, I believe it was the Gator Bowl last year. They didn't have enough players, and then LSU was down so much they had a receiver play quarterback because they'd had either injuries or guys enter the portal. I get what you're saying. I will say this, when you add in walk-ons and everything, you've got 100 players on the roster, so even if 30 leave, you still got 70. And you may be playing some walk-ons that have never played in a game. It would be like, seventh team on the depth chart or something. But I really think, especially for these, quote, lower-tier bowls, an extra game's an extra game, like Matt said. That's only 13 games these guys get to play, and they work their tails off all year for those games. And if guys sit out or go into the portal, opt out or go to the portal, I definitely get that. But that gives other guys chances to play. I almost look at these games as like the start of next year. Like you said with Crook, and Paul's got one start. Well, that's probably your linebacker tandem for next year. We'll see what happens, who Arkansas maybe brings into the portal or what other newcomers do. But, the offensive line is going to have to get reshuffled. Well, what's it going to look? This gives you an idea what it might look like next year. Like say, a young guy like Isaiah Satania or maybe Mbaka, get some snaps at receiver. What can those guys do? So I think in a way, how I would approach it is, it's almost like the 2023 opener. It's like, and you're going to obviously add players, and you're going to lose some other players like Dalton Wagner. He won't be back or whoever. But you get a good chance to get an idea for these younger guys. Plus, they get all these extra practices. I think they can get up to 15. Now, I don't know if they do all those because they may not be able to, depending on when they play. But that's like an extra spring practice. And you think about Arkansas not playing a bowl game for 3 straight years from 2017 to 2019, and 2020 they didn't. TCU opted out because of COVID, but Arkansas got the practices in. But that's like 45 freaking practices you could have had in the 3-year span you didn't get. That's like a whole fall camp. That's 3 springs, And then on the flip side of that, most SEC teams you're playing are going to bowls. So that means they're 45 practices ahead of you if you're not going to a bowl. So the practices are really big, player development for the young guys.
Bob, I think that's Coach Nutt did a good job. He used to have the younger kids would scrimmage a lot, and that so you're getting game-like experience, exactly what you're saying. Yes, sir. That being said, too, are you going to watch LSU Georgia game, SEC championship game this week?
I'd like to. The Arkansas basketball game's at 3, and I hate to say this. Well, what time does Georgia LSU kickoff? That's an afternoon kickoff, isn't it? Like 5 or something.
3:00.
3:00. Well, yeah, I might be checking Twitter, but yeah, that's the same time as the Arkansas plays San Jose State. So bad timing by the SEC as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough.
And for the first time, Bob, the gang's all together for that game on Saturday. Nick Smith available to play. Devo Davis last night announces that he's back. It's just a one-game hiatus and I don't know, maybe a couple of practices or something like that. But, I mean, it's good to know that Devo is whatever was going on, that he feels, in the right headspace to be back with the team. Because, he's a third-year player, Elite Eight 2 years in a row, kind of a leader on the court. It felt like, it's a really talented team, but it did feel like Arkansas would need him this year. So for the first time, team is at full strength.
Yeah, I was going to think along the same lines. I was going to ask Eric about that today on the Zoom, maybe write about it for the weekend. But, yeah, because Devo, he's not a first-round draft pick like, Nick Smith and Anthony Black and some of these guys are going to be. Heck, to me, Ricky Council's playing his way up that draft board, I would think. But, Devo's the most experienced guy in this system. Kamani Johnson's a senior, but he transferred in January, like 2 years ago. So basically, Kamani, this is his second year playing for the Hogs, and it's his, 2.5 years in the system. Devo's been here for 3 years, played every year. He started every game. He was averaging over 30 minutes a game, so he was a key guy. He is a key guy. And he's had some big games. Who can forget the big shot he hit against Earl Roberts to send him to the Sweet 16 when he was a freshman. So, yeah, I'm happy for Devo that whatever he's dealing with, he feels comfortable coming back. He's a big addition to the team, or a big return, whatever term you want to use. And, Eric last the game the other night talked about how Devo, his minutes are one of the tops in the SEC, and how, you're trying to bring Nick Smith back on a limited basis. You don't have Devo, and you had a lot of moving parts going on. And good for Arkansas that Ricky Council took over. Trevin Brazil has been a really good player, just was off. He was I think he was one of those guys Eric was talking about was still on Maui time, Trevin did not play as he usually does, and so that's why the way Ricky played and the way Mekhi Mitchell played was really big, and Anthony Black. But yeah, this will be the first time since the exhibition game at Texas, which obviously that didn't turn out well, but it's the first time in the regular season Eric Musselman will have all his scholarship players together, and so I think that's a big deal, especially as you're getting closer and closer to SEC play.
Bob, let's leave it there. We'll let you get on with the rest of your day. I know you got a lot going on, and we appreciate you hopping on with us. So looking forward to next Thursday with you.
Okay, you guys take care. Good talking with you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Bob Holt, Democrat Gazette. Good to give us his time Thursday mornings here on Halftime. Hey, great gift ideas. You can top them off with screen printing, embroidery, or promotional products that are done locally and quickly. Your next call should be all about the ink. All about the ink. They offer direct-to-garment printing, no setup fees at all. You can customize your business logo, your team logo, any kind of logo, and more. And if you need a new logo, well, they offer in-house graphic design too. Best of all, quick turnaround times. All About the Ink, NWA. They're on Facebook. Screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. Make sure you visit All About the Ink. Lines are open, 877-377-6963. We're right back.
Seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design. Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hell repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street across from Play It Again Sports or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Hanging out with my friend Rocky here at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Toys for Tots time. Bring those unwrapped new toys. Drop them off at Randall. And hey, Rocky, while they're here, they can check out that selection of pre-owned vehicles that you've got in stock.
Jimmy, you've got it, man. We just traded for a couple of these super cool-looking Jeep Gladiators. We actually upfitted one of them, did a level kit, some wheels and tires. It's a really good-looking rig. It's that sweet Baja tan color. Along with Jeep Gladiators, I mean, I've got something for everybody. 3/4 ton trucks, half-ton trucks, small cars, large SUVs. I've got a little bit of everything for every person and every budget.
Got them priced from, I mean, under $10,000 to whatever they want to spend.
The market's adjusting. We just repriced these things to leave. We're sick of looking at them. Come by and take a look.
There you go. Come by and see my buddy Rocky here, one of the sales professionals today. Hey, we're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Don't forget, no payments until after the first of the year. We can make it happen for you today. All you have to do is take time out of that busy schedule and come see us at Randall Ford.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers wants to help feed your family this holiday season. Have the pros at Arts smoke or deep fry your turkey or smoke your ham. Arts has affordable packages available for any size family or crowd. Or drop your turkey or ham off and Arts will take it from there. Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Much more than their famous barbecue and burgers during the holiday season. From turkey to desserts, Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Next to Buddy's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
To the party place. It's time to party. So come to the party place. Let's party.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drugstore still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Something Bob mentioned in that last segment that I wanted to hit on here, Matt, and it's the idea that the bowl games are the start of the upcoming season. And, I mean, I agree to a point but disagree as well, because I think what the bowl games are now, a 6-6 bowl for no doubt, they're more of like a standalone exhibition that doesn't really, in a lot of ways, like cap off.
Define who you are.
Did. Yeah, for the previous season. And I mean, it's too early to really call it like the beginning of the next year and like an added spring ball and all that kind of stuff. I get that, but it's also, it's like it's 4 months away, 3 months away from when spring ball really does begin. So, I mean, where they really are, they're standalone exhibitions that still count on the team's record. And I don't know how long it was ago that the bowl games didn't really count on the record. I mean, there was a time until the late
if you
60s,
win, it counts on the
national
record.
championship was the national championship was decided before the bowl games. That's what the AP and the UPI thought about the bowl games, is that they were
It
kind
was
of
always a
standalone
reward.
exhibitions.
We always kind of looked at it as a reward, as doing something. You win, you do so well, you get to go to a better bowl game. It's kind of like a festive. It's very festive.
Did you look forward to the added practices?
Absolutely. Like it was scrimmage. That Coach Nutt did a great job. I mean, it was a lot of scrimmage time, so it's like a lot of game scenarios, and that's the best. It's kind of the best practices that you. I mean, it was fun. It was just a good vibe, and like you said, now I guess it is. It's like I don't know you can't transfer portal in, but you'll be able to find people that can play. I mean, like if you got to have an old receiver that used to be a high school quarterback. I mean, you go out there and you put it on. There's still enough people out there, I think, that want to play.
But that also just kind of lends itself to the idea of this isn't the iteration of the team you watched for 12 weeks.
Right.
It's a different team. It's a much different team. I mean, you kind of felt that last year.
It's just an event, yeah.
Well, you didn't have Traylon Burks, and that changed the Arkansas offense dramatically. I mean, there were only two players that, if I remember correctly, opted out, specifically. I don't remember anybody that necessarily transferred out before the bowl game. Like Brooks and Fouché, they played. It was Burks and it was Trey Williams. Who said he was getting ready for the draft, and I don't know what's happened to him as far as playing pro football is concerned. I don't think he's done much, or if anything. But I think there's going to be a little more of that now. Who's already said that they're not playing in the bowl game? We know about Ricky Stromberg. We know about Jaden Hazelwood. That's two of them. Bob expects that Drew Sanders makes an announcement that he's entering into the draft.
Yeah, if you're
another one.
A first, second, third round pick, I think that's it's just how many of these guys know that they are Drew Sanders, and for sure he's going to probably be a first or second round pick.
Brandon texted in on our text line asking if they opt out of the bowl game, do they get all of the swag? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they opt out of the bowl game, then they're not going on the trip, which means they don't get the.
What does that mean? They're
filled
not
with fun.
They're not coming back to the team at all. You opt out to the bowl game, or is that you're just saying there's a possibility I'm going to come back to the team? I just don't want to play in this bowl game.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way that I view it. It's like once you say I'm going into the transfer portal, it's like a trial separation where you're looking for what's next in your life or what's next in your career. But I also think it's, Sam Pittman will welcome somebody back if it's a specific player, at a need position. But he's also said, look, I mean, if you say you're going into the transfer portal, fine, and you don't go to the bowl game. Same if you opt out of the bowl, then you're not going to the bowl, which means you don't get the swag. What kind of stuff did you get at some of the bowl games you played? They did the swag back then, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you got some stuff, warm up suit, bag, watch. It was cool. It was all stuff you kind of, give away or whatever. We didn't get PlayStations or anything. I don't think any. It was we never made it to a good enough bowl. You got to make it to a better bowl.
Let's see, which ones did you play?
But you got
Music
to eat.
City.
I mean, you ate the best food. You eat steak and everything that was just. I mean, the whole week. It was fun.
Well, I mean, that's part of the experience, I guess. That's the payoff for the successful season. I know that from everything I read and experienced, last year in Tampa, it was first class. I mean,
right.
They got fed by John Daly for a night with the pizza place that he owns in Tampa. So, but I still feel like the bowl games are just standalone exhibitions, and that's why like college football's postseason is just ridiculous. When it comes down to it, it's easy to look at all the other college postseasons. You're like, all right, that works. Maybe a tweak here or there. I think baseball may end up tweaking the way they do the college baseball postseason just to make it more of a series-based sport instead of the 4-team pod. But, you got 64 teams. You get 68 in the basketball tournaments. And, I mean, they have a real tournament that's all, laid itself out. The bowl games now, Matt, are sort of like, well, in basketball, what do you have? You got the CBI.
NIT.
You got the NIT. There are a couple of other
some bowl games
tournaments that are viewed like that.
I do think to what you're saying. I don't think it's all bowl games. Some of the bowl games, yeah, you get some of the kids that don't want to be there. You can kind of see by the way they play and the way they go about it. And if you're missing 15 players and coaches are changing, you see it. I guess the last part of this season with Liberty losing. And then if Ole Miss really, if Lane Kiffin really was in talks with Auburn or not, they kind of faltered down the stretch. You just kind of can't explain it.
So what is everybody here listening going to be watching at 3 o'clock on Saturday? Arkansas basketball against San Jose State and the SEC championship game, Georgia and LSU, which maybe that thing gets out of hand in the second half. I don't know. I just know I'm going to be at the basketball game, so I don't think I'm going to be watching the SEC championship. And I won't watch it on record anyway. I'm not going to record that thing. Razorback game, yeah, I'd record that. One that they're not involved in, I don't know if I'm really interested in doing it all that much. Hey, if you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake, Table Rock, or you're looking for a trophy brown on the Mighty White, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them for you. Has the famous rolling action, no matter if it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. The Rogue suspends. It'll stay in that strike zone longer, and you can catch more fish. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue, available at learnet.com and tackle stores all over the place. Hour number 1 of halftime, wrapping up after this.
Phil Donahue, and you can use TV Guide to help you decide with a Live review. Say you can watch 60 Minutes, even Captain Kangaroo, but there's only one set, so whatever you watch, well, I gotta watch it too. Say, give it up, television's taking its toll.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howe about a free insurance review.
When it comes to flooring, go for the slam dunk. Quality, price, and service are what you want. So score that three-pointer with Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center. They provide free same-day estimates and financing is available. Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional from flooring to countertops. Whether professional or do-it-yourself installation, score big with Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, or call 289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Before you hit the holiday road, drop by and let us check your antifreeze. We'll also take a look at your battery, your hoses, belts, things like that. If it's been a while since your last oil change, well, we can take care of that too. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We offer front-end work and alignments also. Don't wait. Come see us just off of Towson on South O in Fort Smith. Call 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
If we make it through December, everything's gonna be alright, I know. It's the coldest time of winter, and I shiver when I see the falling snow. If we make it through December.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Basketball tonight, Bud Walton Arena, Arkansas, Troy, the women's side of things. It's the second time I get a Razorback versus Trojans game this week. Of course, the men took care of business Monday. This is, if the media guide is correct, the first ever time that Arkansas and Troy have met in women's college basketball. All it took was taking one of the all-time great Razorbacks to join Troy as an assistant coach for that to happen. Or I don't know, maybe they were on the schedule before Chelsea Dungy took the job. It's going to be great to see Chelsea there. I don't know if you got a chance to watch her in person ever, Matt. She played 3 years at Arkansas, was a sit transfer for a year, came over from OU, and played with an attitude. And a fun attitude to watch.
Very fashionable, too.
She tough?
Incredibly fashionable.
Yeah.
And, yes, very, very tough. She's dealt with a lot of things earlier in her life before she joined the Razorbacks. So that'll be really cool to see Chelsea there. It also shows me, it was only, 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago that she was a draft choice in the first round for the WNBA. It just tells me that is a tough league to stick in. That's a tough league to stick, man, because Chelsea's a baller. She can flat out play. And I would assume she would have had opportunities to go play overseas, but this is a chance to start the coaching career.
Yeah, you wonder how many teams there are, so really how many new jobs are available, and that's why you look at some of these kids entering the NFL draft and transfer portal and stuff, but the NFL, it's like there's not as many new jobs out there as you think there is. It's about 5-6 jobs per team.
Right. There are 12 teams in the WNBA.
So there's probably not that many jobs open every year. There's just not.
Any.
Yeah.
Hardly any.
It's tough.
Yeah. Be easier becoming a movie star in a year than it would crack a starting lineup in the WNBA. But this will be a good game. This will be a real test, I think, for Arkansas, because one of the things that they do really well, rebound, is something that Troy does incredibly well. Rebound, offensive rebound specifically. They lead the nation in offensive rebounds, 22 per game. And this is crazy to think about for an Arkansas team under Mike Neighbors, just from the history of the previous 5 years and troubles rebounding. And maybe we'll believe it a little more once they start playing SEC teams. But 8 games in, they're at almost 81% rebounding an opponent's misses. So that means opponents are getting an offensive rebound on 19% of their misses. This is one of the best percentages in the country. And so that's really
getting off the field on third down right there.
Isn't it, though?
That's
the right way to put it.
Right?
That's the right way to put it.
Let's get the ball back and let's put our offense back out on the field. I like it. I like that stat about the team, that they're tough.
I like how you put that too. It's just like it gives you the ball, so it gives you possession. It takes a possession away from the opponent. Third down percentage keeps your offense on the field. I'm just trying to think like
2 out of 10. If they're only getting 2 out of 10 third downs, then you got a chance right there.
Baseball coaches and managers will always talk about 2-out scoring.
Yeah. Getting that third out.
Keep that pitcher on the mound. Keep those defenders out there in the field. And watch the frustration build and build and build. So, we'll see if Arkansas, they get a win, and then they play Oral Roberts on Sunday, and then the rankings come out again. And you know the way I feel about rankings early in the season. They really don't matter, but you can use it as fuel. I mean, just looking over the men's basketball rankings, North Carolina was number 1. They're about to be out of the poll. I mean, out of the top 25. They lost their 3rd consecutive game yesterday to Indiana. So, I mean, that'll tell you what the poll means mid
and Michigan State
November.
wasn't ranked to start the season. Yeah.
That's right. So the Arkansas women's team can just use the idea that they're in the RV category, just getting votes, for some to put a little grr in their sails. They've already played with that grr anyway. I'm looking forward to getting back into Bud Walton and get to be inside the basketball palace for 3 out of the next 4 days. Can't wait. All right, we're moving into the second hour of halftime on a Thursday, which means Clay Henry will be with us in just a moment. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. Halftime is right back.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you can save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry! A deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high this afternoon into the upper 40s. We will see clouds, a slight chance of a little rain, and overnight low will be right around the low 40s. Chance of a little rain on Friday, otherwise partly sunny. Our high temperatures into the low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold your roll, hold your roll, hold your roll. I'm with my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold your roll, hold your roll. 1, 2, 3. Turn that back, your
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Clay Henry joining halftime for the next couple of hours here on this Thursday. Good afternoon, Clay. Congratulations on correctly predicting the USA's final score against Iran. I don't know what that gets you, but it gets you an attaboy.
Nothing. Yeah, thank you. I like attaboys. Matt picked 2-0, so that made it easy because those are the most popular scores, 1-0 or 2-0. I guess you could say 0-0.
Well, we're not we need a new offensive coordinator, but maybe not a new defensive coordinator for our team. Yeah, we struggle to score goals. We just can't create. We're just not talented enough that all we got is really crash and cross. You know what I mean? And our set piece game has been kind of weak.
Yeah, it's like the quarterback in football, that world-class striker. We don't have an Mbappe. I mean,
a lot of people don't, though. Yeah. But see, Brazil, everybody, those Spain, Germany, Brazil, Argentina, even Portugal, they all have talent that we don't have. That's true. But that's why it makes it fun, and that's why it's awesome.
Yeah, our strikers are SEC tailbacks. They're not playing soccer. They're playing SEC football.
Yeah, I think work done being a
no question.
You know what I mean? Like that's Maurice Jones-Drew. Yeah, or
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's huge. He's got to be a.
I like how
Darian
Sproles. The both of you like to use the analogy to SEC football to describe what the USA has and what they don't have. So I guess if we're going to go SEC football. What would be the SEC of European soccer? Is it England? Is it Spain? Is it?
Like if you were to say France? The Power Five, France. Yeah. France won the last World Cup. Italy's won. Germany.
I mean the leagues. Is it the EPL?
Premier League, La Liga, because you have a Champions League tournament that you're going to have, like, so you have
The
ACC,
Bundesliga.
Big 12. Yeah, Bundesliga. You have ACC, Big 12, SEC, Pac-10, whatever they are. That's kind of, and then you have the Champions League where you take the best 3 or 4 and out of all those leagues, and then they play a tournament. And then like that.
We need to do in college
The
football.
great
We need to
players
take-
from South America, they go to Europe,
right?
Because there's more money there.
We need to have
They've got
those
great NIL deals over there.
Those
we need to have a European like a European structure to college football. Then that way we could have. I mean, what would a Champions League look like for the United States in college football? I mean, imagine a league that had Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oklahoma. Maybe not this year's Oklahoma. I mean, it would kind of leave the rest of us to be like, all right, I guess we're playing Mizzou 3 times.
The playoff goes on simultaneously with the leagues.
Yeah, it's a tournament that goes on while the season's going on, and it's based on your last year's stats. And it's pretty crazy, man. Yeah, it's the best tournament in the world.
It's tough to follow all of those things all at once.
It is, and so, some of those teams, they'll have a goalkeeper that he'll be their tournament goalkeeper, and one of them be their regular season goalkeeper.
We got a couple of questions in here that are asking you some stuff here, Clay. 877-377-6963. Well, we just have a request from somebody that wants to interview you, so I'll pass that along to you during the commercial break. And
just
see
tell
what
them
we can
no.
do here. No, we're not doing interviews with Clay. And this isn't an interview with Clay either. This is just a segment. Mike in Tulsa asked, what are they biting in on the North Fork? Were you out there on the river again this morning?
I'm going to go at 2:15.
All right.
I fished last week, and they were my root beer midge was terrific. Yep, I had a 24-inch brown on for a while. I didn't land it, but it ate the fly, which is that's half of it. Maybe 90% of it is having the right fly.
We got good news about Jordan Dominic. I guess it was like 35, 40 minutes ago, announcing that he's going to return to Arkansas, which also means he's playing in the bowl game. So you have, I think he was your most productive member right there at the defensive line, playing off the edge, number 14. And I know Sam Pittman has made a point about trying to get some of the super seniors, you have that super senior year, to return, and getting Dominic back for that defense, man. That seems like that's really big to get him to come back.
Phil, it is, and it's really big to get him for a spring practice. He's one of those guys that you didn't have in the spring. Yeah. So, and Landon Jackson is another one. He was here, but he was hurt. He was coming back from an ACL. Both those guys they could give you some things in pass rush, but I didn't think they were every down players. They need to become more physical so they can play against the run, and I think having them in the spring is really important. And both of them need let's put it this way, maybe a new strength coach. They will benefit from, something that's going to put some more, lead in their pencil, so to speak.
That's an interesting way to put it. I do like that. I do like analogies that make me scratch my head for a moment, but I like that one. What do you think about the middle of the defensive line? Because
I think the defense, to me, surprised me in that the strength wasn't what I thought the strength was. The strength was the cornerbacks, and that has not been the strength of late. Montaric Brown was pretty good, but they could not play press in the pass, against the pass in the past. Their weakness was safety, and then defensive end, the ability to play every down. And I would say, they didn't have that massive nose tackle. You really missed John Ridgway more than I thought they would.
Yeah, and I mean the idea that he could sort of just clog up that middle.
A double team required a double team. That's the key thing. Can you you have to single block them? You go back and ask Morgan, Henry, and Poole what 2021 was like, and they'll tell you that it was a walk in the park compared to what it could be. You just never had any blockers on them because they were worried about John Ridgway.
Yeah, it's the idea of, and Matt, you brought this up a number of times. I mean, you can sort of sometimes get an idea of how a team will perform based upon the number of guys on that team that have league potential in the NFL. And that was the reason I think that Ridgway decided to transfer out of Illinois State. Not that he couldn't have made it there from Illinois State, but he put on he was able to put himself on display at Arkansas. And look at now. I mean, he's a productive player in the NFL as a rookie.
The best.
So, and I just sort of wonder about, like, where is that NFL talent at nose tackle for Arkansas? I like what I see from Cam Ball sometimes. I think Isaiah Nichols is a good college defensive tackle. I don't know, where he goes moving forward, but I just wonder about, like, who. I didn't know if Ridgway was going to be an NFL guy or not. When we watched him, it's like, yeah, he probably is, and now he is. I don't know if there is that right now at tackle.
Ridgway, he bulked up and he gained some weight, and sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. It didn't seem to work for him. He was a 280, 285 guy, and he went to 305, 310, and he seemed to lose some of that closing speed. Like, he can shed a blocker, but what does that get you if you can't close? I didn't see him make any plays in the pass rush.
It's weird if to be too big, or to if you want to be faster, or if you got to be stronger. But I still believe the SEC is the best place to audition. So if you are a school at Illinois State, or a player there that has room in transfer, and you want to go out and get a guy that, if you need to go out and get a nose tackle, that's the place I would try to look for, because that, if you want an audition for the NFL, that is the best league to play in, and that's what that you see it every year. The most drafted players come from the SEC.
It's kind of funny. It's not as easy as you think. I was talking to my older brother yesterday, who's really an Alabama guy. He's spent his last 12 or 14 years, and he was executive director, Crimson Tide Marketing, which is, the IMG Learfield property. He still follows Alabama, and they just didn't have anybody in the middle. So it's not, if you think, well, Alabama doesn't have it, if they're missing that.
Oh, no, you're right on that. There's not that many nose tackles that God doesn't make those. He didn't plant there's
Big
not
people.
A lot of those on the earth. Yeah, there's not three techniques that can you don't find those guys.
Matt, did you play with Cedric Cobbs?
Yeah, Cedric was electric. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Cedric, when he first came to Arkansas, he had quickness and
he had
some
turf
electric
toe
speed
at the end.
And then, they got him in the weight room, and he was one of those guys that if he did 3 push-ups and 5 bench presses, he looked like Popeye. He just popped everywhere.
Oh, he's very natural.
Yeah. And so he bulked up and he got big, and then he lost a step, and they backed him off. So you have to, it's a fine line of where you are in weight training, how it computes to football. And I sit and talk with John McDonald over and over, and he talked about guys that came to Arkansas with track speed, Eddie Jackson, Batman Carroll, some of those guys.
Lawrence Richardson.
Lawrence Richardson. He's like, keep them out of the weight room. They can play corner. They don't have to be big. Now, safeties, that's a different deal. But he's like, don't do anything that takes away from their speed.
Yeah, Cedric was amazing.
One of those guys that understood that.
Yeah, Fred had a small. Fred was my favorite of all the running backs. That's for sure. Cedric had turf toe too. Like that kind of hurt him. I don't know if you've ever dealt with that, but when you can't move, you just can't move.
That's why when I saw that Traylon Burks was dealing with turf toe,
that's
put him on IR in October. I was like, oh man. No, not that. Might as well be an ACL in some cases.
It just you never know.
I remember going to a Steelers opening game. It might have been '84. They're playing the Chiefs. Jack Lambert's career ended because of turf toe in that game. He was one of the toughest guys on the face of the earth, right? Turf toe did him in.
I always heard my dad say this. He says, if you hear a running back with turf toe or a quarterback with a sore thumb, just write them off. They're done. So thumbs and
if you can't grip the ball, if you can't grip, like when you see the quarterback hit it on their helmet on the other team or your team, that's why they will jump a defensive player if you get close to a quarterback in practice. Oh my goodness!
Thumbs are pretty important, to do the things that
to grip that football.
To do.
Yeah,
I like my big toe as well.
We're all into the large appendages here on ESPN Arkansas.
Yeah, we are.
And hitthatline.com. We're also into Crabtree RV. They want to thank all of you, their loyal customers, for voting them the best of the best. It's now 8 consecutive years. Crabtree RV, humbled and blessed by being able to serve the River Valley folks for over 70 years, and they want to show their appreciation by paying your sales tax. That's right, they're going to pay your sales tax on the purchase of a new RV starting now through the end of the year. So now's the time to select that RV that you've always been looking at CrabtreeRV.com. You get your sales tax paid in full by Crabtree RV. They're right off exit 13 off I-40 behind the Cracker Barrel in Alma. CrabtreeRV.com. Go RVing today. Phone lines are open at 877-377-6963. And we have Clay Henry with us. And halftime returns after this.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield. The 40, the 30. College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas.
As you can tell, this means a lot, you know.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Frankrow Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frankrow Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frankrow Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
For those near Bullfrog Valley, west of Dover, all the way up to Booger Holler, the Wave Rural Connect Piney Zone is now open for orders. Get fast fiber internet up to a gigabyte for just $79.95. Installation is free on the Piney Zone until January 5th, 2023. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Northside head football coach, Coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach, Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Wanting to go big for Christmas this year? Wheeler Power Sports has you covered with a showroom full of youth off-road vehicles for the little thrill seeker in your life. KO 4-wheelers starting at just $1549 and dirt bikes starting at $1249 plus taxes and fees. They're also stocked with youth Polaris and Kawasaki models, including the all-new Kawasaki Electrode stability bike. Family owned and operated and keeping the good times rolling for over 50 years. Visit WheelerPowersports.com to see their full showroom and current promotions.
This is Abby with Davis Floor Covering. Get your home or office looking its best for this football season with new flooring from Davis Floor Covering. Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, ceramic, porcelain tile, or luxury vinyl planks, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs with brands such as Bow Floors and flooring supplies from Ma Pei. And let's get started on beautifying your office or home. We even do countertops. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Davis Floor Covering with 3 locations to serve you: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Call 452-4808.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I got to get my shopping done before the rest of you guys, all right? Because I got my holiday Hanukkah begins in 17 days.
Did you say shopping or chopping?
That's an inside joke.
That's the right way to go at it. Well, this is why I'm going to tell. I'm actually going to release what I just told you guys, because when I went to sleep last night before the kids, they were side by side putting together their Hanukkah wish lists. And, when it comes, I think, is it safe to say, Clay, that when your kids put together a wish list, they know that there's probably one or two things that they wish for that the wish isn't going to be fulfilled. Does that sound right?
You can't get everything on the list. Then
you got to aim high, though.
They don't get everything.
I want to tell you, my wife she's pretty good at filling all the complete list. She does it.
Then you come like Iowa State. Then you come like Ohio State football. When you lose one game, you turn into a brat.
That's a good way of putting it. They are bratty about it over there, aren't they? I didn't get what I wanted in my sock. Shut up. Go to whatever bowl game you're going to. Ohio State's probably going to the Orange Bowl anyway. So
how awesome, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and complain about a trip to Miami. I mean, I could if I needed to. All right, here's the wish list for Gabe. Most of these are, good. He is obsessed with The Simpsons. He wants Simpsons shoes and Simpsons pants.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's seen every episode.
That's awesome.
I don't know how many there are, but he's seen every one of them.
They're still making new episodes.
There's like 30-something seasons, right?
There's got at least
33 or 34. He's seen them all. So
wow.
He wants a Simpsons wardrobe, apparently. Which must mean, very interesting hairdo for him.
Don't have a cow, man.
He wants painting markers. He wants an Xbox steering wheel because he loves his racing games, walkie-talkies, jump boots, a hatchet, Legos, gaming
headphones.
Hold on. Acaramba.
I feel like you skipped over something.
You did hear that one, right?
We need a record scratch.
A hatchet is on his wish list.
Not
Should
a ratchet,
I be worried?
A hatchet.
A hatchet, yes. This is not misspelled. This is a real thing.
So you gonna do some woodwork?
Viking heritage?
What we got going on?
Not that I know of. I think we're as Eastern European as it gets. I mean, there's no trees to chop down in my backyard. We already have wood for the winter. For
Make a birdhouse.
It's already cut up.
You just never know when you're going to need one. That's the thing about a hatchet.
Better to have it, not need it.
Exactly.
Just to have it lying around, There's some gentlemen that like to sleep.
He doesn't
with the
hang out in the
woods,
mattress. Right?
Do you think Gabe is having having these fantasies like in A Christmas Story where he imagines protecting his family with the BB gun? That he's in his head thinks that somebody's going to break in and he's going to save the family with the hatchet.
You'll chop your finger off. You'll chop your finger.
What's
off.
the Edward Norton Bruce Willis movie with Bill Murray where the kids go doing that on Cub Scouts, but they build their own? You've seen it. The Dope Limit had the video of it.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom.
I had to.
Have y'all seen
was
that?
Hard for me to pull out of my head. Right.
Good job, Matty T.
I've not seen that one.
Oh, Phil, you should check it out, man. It's a good one.
I would have been less surprised if he would have asked for a spaceship for Hanukkah, legitimately requesting a spaceship, or like a or a real airplane, not a drone, but one that he could actually get in the cockpit and fly. When I see hatchet on this wish list, I'm thinking, is our relationship as good as I thought it was?
You better make sure
we're
those
getting along
presents
really
are,
well. Yeah. The 35-year difference in age hasn't put us in an awkward position at all until maybe now. I'm not buying anybody a hatchet.
Well, I think first you have to discuss it.
With his mom?
No, I mean,
yeah.
Oh, I can imagine how that'll go.
I texted her about it earlier today and got a one-word answer.
Okay, in other words,
not one
no.
that I'm going to say on the air.
You could just let her find out about it after.
But it was the one-word answer sufficed. You understood that was a no.
Very much so.
It was
and
the
I
reason
wasn't
for the
asking,
season, but a different season.
I wasn't going to ask. I mean, should we buy him this thing? No, I don't think we need to be buying him that thing or anything that is sharp.
I think in understanding that he's not going to get it, you need to find out why he wanted it. Because there may be some ground rules you have to put down.
I'm a little frightened to hear his answer, Clay. I don't even know.
Yeah, but I think that's something dads have to do.
Just trying. All of the things I might have requested for as a kid, nothing would have ever come as close to that. I don't.
Well, I requested a gun, whenever I'm a kid.
Yeah, but your dad hunts.
You grew up
Yeah,
as
for
an
hunting. That's what I'm
outdoorsman.
saying. Is he carving a birdhouse? What's he doing? Is he axe throwing? Yeah.
Gabe's
he
dad's
might
not a
go
hatchet
and
killer.
chop down a Christmas tree for you.
Do you
You
know
just
me?
need to find out.
Yeah, it's a very important question that we got to have to figure out at some point. But it's like, Matt, you asked for a gun because your dad took you hunting, right? I mean, it all seems to make sense. I have never taken him anywhere where a hatchet would be a necessary tool for any reason at all. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. Otherwise, I think he's just, you know what it is? Because he is my son, he's just messing with us. He's just being a sarcastic little thing.
Well, I like that he asked for clothes, though. That's positive.
Yeah, even if they do have Bart Simpson on all of them.
No, but they're clothes.
Well, you'd be totally addicted to that. Clay, do I read this right? We got a text from somebody asking if you're ready for your wedding anniversary, because that's right around Christmas, and they remembered that your anniversary is the same time that this listener's anniversary is. So that's coming
December
up. What is it like to
23rd.
have an anniversary that's right by a major holiday? I know a lot of people that have birthdays on Christmas Day or around it. I'm like, I don't like it. But an anniversary is a different thing. That's your choice.
It wasn't my choice. I was told this is when it will have to be.
How many years does this have to be?
44.
Congratulations. That's pretty cool.
And we hadn't made it to it yet, but I think all signs are that we're going to make it.
That's 40-plus years, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you, Clay. That's worth celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we set down some ground rules. This is kind of like you're going to have to do with your son about the hatchet. Jean Ann said that, how are we going to do decision makings? And I said, well, you make the little decisions and I'll make the big ones. Well, we never have. In 44 years, we hadn't got to a major decision yet.
Well, that's pretty good.
Well, that means she's made all the decisions.
Well, it just means you're smart if you want to stay married.
No, but it's also she's pretty practical.
Well, I think you probably are too if you're letting her make.
And I've never asked for a hatchet.
No, because you just have one lying around because you're.
I don't think we have a hatchet. I don't think we have an axe either.
Well,
next year, he's going to be requesting.
We have a chainsaw.
I think he's going to request handcuffs next year or something.
No, he won't.
A year ago, you could have told me he was going to ask for a hatchet. I'd have told you were on Mars.
No way. Yeah.
It's crazy. There's these kids and their crazy holiday gift requests. 877-377-6963. It was Bart from Rogers that asked about your anniversary, Clay. His parents are the same day. My parents' anniversary is the first day of Hanukkah. I'm going to get them for their 51st anniversary. I'm going to get them a sword. We'll come back with more halftime after this.
Happiness is when you really feel good about somebody. nothing wrong being in love with someone, yeah. Oh, baby, love it happiness.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe, and football is in the air, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, well, go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, zero out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise, with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros yesterday. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
The reading Ross Dellinger's report in SI this morning, and I mean, everybody had a report about the Rose Bowl agreeing to not view themselves as being special or any more special than the other 5 bowl games that are part of the college football playoff. And now you got a 12-team playoff starting in 2024, which means that the championship game will be either a week or maybe 2 weeks after its current date. So you're looking at either the middle of January or the end of January for the college football playoff championship. And then Dellinger, he was the only one that reported that there were, quote, serious negotiations, unquote, about moving the regular season calendar up a week. So essentially week 0 would be week 1. And I guess week 0 moves a little further back. So then your football season would always begin in August. I guess that means that fall camp would start in July, always, which means we have to come up with a totally different term for it than fall camp. And I like the idea. This means that your conference championship games are played Thanksgiving weekend, and rivalry week is the week before. I like this. I like this a lot. It also, I think, I mean, sometimes it's different audiences, but people just really do like to watch football. And that also does away with at least some of the conflict between college football's postseason and the NFL's postseason. But you're still going to have that conflict no matter what, as deep as you're going in to January. But I really do like, moving the football season back. And I wonder what you guys think about that. It's 1 week, but it seems like it is kind of a big deal to do this. Matt, we'll start with you. What do you think about moving the?
Well, I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to give up any games. But with as much money's involved, I don't know if when you have your divisions, if you're able just to have everybody play a 10-game season, and then you would have your bowl games would be 11 games or what you want to make it. But they're getting up there, man. 17 games, that's 16 games. That's a lot of football.
Clay, what do you think about starting the season a week early? This would
yeah, and I don't think you need to add more to the camp. So the whole mindset about August training camp, and it's not fall camp. Let's eliminate that word because it's not. Yeah. It's summer camp. Used to really need that because the players were gone for the summer. Yeah. Now they're there, and the coaches are more and more involved in the summer than they were in match day. They're running plays and practice.
We had the strength coaches who were out there with us, Clay. Like that was the main dudes that were out there with us all summer. And,
there's a misconception that that's still the way it is, but no. The players meet with the coaches. They have so much time. The coaches like it, but they don't like it because it kind of shortens their summers. But that's the way it is. And they don't need August camp to get in shape because the players are, quote, already in shape because they've been working out all summer. So you can lop off, some of that.
They don't hit in camp anymore is the thing. That's why we don't tackle. Like whatever's going.
They're not doing that anymore.
You got to hit a little bit, and I don't know if you should hit. And the thing that for bowl practice that freshman year, we ran over 200 scrimmage plays getting ready for that bowl practice with Coach Nutt and hitting, and it felt like we really developed some players. We had a lot of young players on that team, and that's what he did well. I don't know how they do it now, but that just doesn't seem like we tackle very well.
You can do it a lot of ways in bowl practices. The worst that I ever saw was 95 when they won the SEC West, and then they lost their last 2 games, and then they went to the CarQuest Bowl in Miami. Maybe it was Coral Gables, but anyway, South Beach. Danny Ford did not need a curfew. They practiced 3 times a day for a week, and the players were miserable by the time they got to that game. But that was in part, some of those young players that eventually won in 98 were part of those practices. So you can view
the bowl games. Clay, the bowl games are reward now more than anything, don't you think? Yeah.
Well, I think once you get to the site, they're not doing much, but they're gonna. Sam said on his show last night they're going to have 13 practices. Well, that is meaningful for young players.
Yes, sir.
Is there any harm at all? Big Mike says it's too hot now when they start, so maybe he's feeling a week earlier means that it's still too hot when they start. But it's, I don't see 1 week making that much of a difference in the start of the season.
And play a night game.
The sport that needs
games.
to be
Yep.
the sport that needs to move its calendar in a dramatic way is college baseball. Get it out of the middle of February and start in the middle of March. I mean, that's a different conversation, but that's a major change. 1 week for college football isn't necessarily a major change, and I like the idea of getting in the regular season before Thanksgiving. And then you can worry about holidays and everything like that, and maybe get better crowds for some of those games too.
Yeah, as far as extending the season later, you're not. There is only going to be a few teams that it really matters. First of all, the best 4 teams are going to get buys, so they're not playing, too many extra games, and those worst 4 teams are all going to lose, so they're not playing extra games. So I don't really see it as a big deal.
Well, I like the idea of doing exactly that, moving that thing on.
There's only going to be 4 teams that play an extra game, and they might not be playing but 1 extra game. So let's get over that.
Sounds about good.
I think there'll be slaughters.
Well, let's look at the iteration of the current rankings and see what you might think about the games that they were. And again, these are not what the final rankings are because you still have your championship games. So Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Southern California would get the bye to the quarterfinals. Ohio State would host Washington. Alabama would host Utah. Tennessee hosts Kansas State. And then Penn State hosts Clemson. There are some really good games that are thrown in there. Ohio State, I guess I don't know enough about Washington to have a sense of what kind of a game that would be. But that is kind of an attractive matchup.
Do you think
it would be in the horseshoe? That's part of it. Like the first round, the higher seeded team gets the home game, which is pretty important.
And do you think a team like Utah, and this is our thinking, I guess, a team like Utah or a team like Alabama, that they could still win if they're getting in there, they're still good enough to win on any given day? That's why everybody wants to do this.
Man, I look at Kansas State, Utah, Washington. This has been the argument of the reasons not
Kansas
to
State
expand.
would still have a chance to play for the national title if they beat TCU, right? Because then they would be in. That's by the new rules, right? I
don't see them being a dominant team, no.
But you're right, though. If Kansas State were to win
Oregon,
that matchup this
then
Saturday,
they're in.
then
Same with LSU, right?
Be in.
Yeah.
Oregon got their
exactly
taste
right.
of it when they went to play at Georgia. They got their taste, and I don't think.
But Oregon would be another team that could be in too, right?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. There are going to be some slaughters.
Yeah.
But I guess it's all going to work out fine. You can have some oddball situation where a team doesn't have its quarterback. I'm talking about a dominant team.
What are some of the outliers, Clay? That Boise State team a few years back, a Cincinnati team, maybe. There's been a handful of them though that are kind of those small teams, smaller type teams that you thought could play with the big boys.
They could, but oftentimes those teams were playing against a team that
didn't
want to
be there
at the end of the year,
right?
And they were going to a bowl game for a reward. They weren't preparing for a championship. So you have to be careful. Cincinnati got Georgia in one of those games, right? And Georgia was
Central Florida got Auburn in one of those games. Yeah.
And so you have to be careful when you look at those. But I think when those top teams are geared up and they know they're playing for something, I think there'll be slaughters. But that's okay. Let's just play them. We're kind of preaching to the choir right now. It's over. They're gonna do it.
They are doing it.
Would it be a way
to
Clay, how they do the soccer games where they don't match up it's like they don't match you up in your pod where they wouldn't have necessarily an SEC matchup? They'd try to put guys like that on the other side of the brackets, or would they not care as much?
No, I think they'll scatter them around. I don't think they like replays until you get to the very end.
To the semis or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at some of these championship games for this weekend. LSU, in a 12-team playoff, they're playing not just for the SEC championship, but to make it into the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane and Cincinnati, or
Central Florida,
or Central Florida, they're playing for it. They're playing essentially to be what would be the top group of 5.
And only
conference
one
champions.
probably out of that group probably gets in, wouldn't you say, out of the American Conference? They don't have two top 12 teams.
No question.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
And then, like, Notre Dame has absolutely no way possible to improve their standing in conference championship weekend. And this is, I wonder, do you think, I mean, the Notre Dame cannot get, according to Dellinger's article, they would not be able to get a first-round bye because the byes are reserved just for the top 4 conference champions. So that would just be nuts to think about. You could have a situation where Notre Dame, let's just say Notre Dame is undefeated, the only undefeated team, and they're ranked first, but they still don't get a bye. You know, with that thought, is this the kind of thing you think that might spur Notre Dame to join the Big Ten or join the ACC, you know, become an actual member of a conference? Because a first-round bye seems like it would be a pretty important thing, especially if you were undefeated.
Are they not in a conference in basketball or baseball?
Okay, first time that happens, they'll change that rule. Well, it won't be – Notre Dame will not have to join a conference. They'll change the rule.
Yeah, if they go undefeated, they'll just – that's what I was thinking. But isn't the baseball team and basketball team, aren't they part of the Big East?
No, they're part of the ACC.
They're part of the ACC.
Part of the ACC.
Why don't they just join? Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to ever join in football because they don't have to.
They have to.
Because of the NBC contract. If they get to a situation where that would be like an oddball thing that they deserve a bye and they didn't get one, they'll just change the rule the next year. But until they do, they're going to say, "Okay, we're going to be fine with this."
Yeah, because they'd essentially get the worst team, right?
All that they've talked, they've obviously discussed it. Notre Dame gets favorable treatment, and then sometimes they get unfavorable treatment, and it just kind of slides back and forth. They didn't get it on this issue.
Sounds like the last thing that everybody was waiting on was for the Rose Bowl to stop, expecting to be everybody's favorite grandchild, and just slot themselves in with the orange and the Fiesta and the cotton and the peach and the Sugar Bowl. So now that that's all ironed out. There's not a distinct possibility. It's going to happen. You will have a Rose Bowl that is not played on January 1st. I think that might have happened maybe once ever, at least since we've been alive. 877-377-6963 to get on halftime. We're about to wrap up hour number 2 in just a moment here. Brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. That's Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan, making sure their patients have better lives and comfortable experiences in the dental chair, providing all the procedures, braces, implants, cosmetics, and everything else at Riley Farm Dental. They've been voted top 3 best of the best now for 5 consecutive years.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at tulsawoundcenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Nothing runs like a deer because nothing's built like one.
No House Advantage is...
Drop it off here at our box at Randall Ford in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
I'm just a gigolo, and everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. Pay for every dance, selling each romance. Ooh, what they say. There will come a day when youth will pass away. What will they say about me when the end comes? I know there's no just a gigolo's. Life goes on without me. I'm just a gigolo.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, Matt Jones, Clay Henry. I know you guys both like golf. You guys are golfers. Matt, I know you play quite a bit. You ever been to the Grand Canyon?
I have never been. We've flown over it, so I've seen it, but never experienced it that way. No, sir.
Clay, you been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes, we stopped on the way back from the Las Vegas bowl.
Did you stop and just do the Clark Griswold?
We spent the night
and you're out. Okay,
on the rim. Yeah, we spent the night. We didn't hit any golf balls into the.
Was it awesome? What'd y'all do?
It was very awe-inspiring.
Did I hear you say something about hitting golf balls into and you left us?
No,
hanging
we didn't.
on there?
But we talked about it. You have to find They don't like you doing that because there may be people down there.
Well, they don't like you doing that, and they're going to fine you if you do. I saw a video of a young lady, a 20-year-old Instagram influencer with over 1 million followers, who posted a video of her. I guess she's really good at golf too. Her name's Katie Sigmund, And she posted this video a little more than a month ago, right at the rim of the Grand Canyon, not only hitting a golf ball into the canyon, but the shaft of her golf club also broke off and flew into the canyon. And that cost her a little pretty penny. It probably could have cost her more than the $285 fine that she ended up with, because she could have been – this is a misdemeanor which would carry up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine for hitting a golf ball into the Grand Canyon. And I guess it seems like it would be the sort of thing that, oh, nobody's gonna come across this golf ball, and if they do anyway. But I think there's a lot of people that try to do this kind of thing. I'd read about a guy that over the summertime was hitting baseballs into the canyon. I mean, sooner or later, someone's going to try to kick field goals into the canyon too. Leave the Grand Canyon alone, right, Clay?
Yep. There's a couple of shoals that I like to wade in the White River, and there's houses on bluffs, 350, 400 feet up. And I've been out there and been peppered by golf balls, people hitting them. And it's pretty obvious they're aiming at me because they're landing around. And I've thought about what I would do, but I haven't done anything to,
Well, I would never. First of all, I'm not good at hitting golf balls anyway. And that's what they've got Top Golf for. That's what we have football stadiums for that do Top Golf that travels. And that's what we have driving ranges for. I don't know how impressive it is to be able just to hit a ball into a giant hole in the earth, which is exactly what Big Mike from Waldron says the canyon turns into. It just becomes a big hole in the ground if you do. Jody and Harrison does raise an interesting point here on the text line. What would be the difference between somebody hitting golf balls into the Grand Canyon, which is against federal law, or Evel Knievel attempting to jump the Grand Canyon? Because what if he misses?
A permit.
You got permission.
Yeah.
Well, you must get permission. So you have to get permission to hit golf balls into the Grand Canyon?
Well, no, but
permission.
He got permission to do something dangerous, yeah.
He paid him. He paid for that permit.
Paid for that permit, and luckily for him, he didn't pay for it with his life.
He's an environmentalist, just like you, Phil. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't kick the field goals into the pond.
I don't know if I'd be jumping 40 vehicles in a motorcycle anyway. There's a couple of things that Evel Knievel was into that I just have never even tried. And I bet you Evel Knievel would give a hatchet for Christmas or Hanukkah if his son asked for it.
I think you should give him the hatchet, but I would do it in a novel way, like
a samurai sword, like get the Tom Cruise, like in The Last Samurai. You just dress up and hand him the hatchet.
We're just going to give the hatchet a name. We'll call it Excalibur. We'll stick it in a giant stone, and we'll see if he can pull the thing out of it. And if he does, then he gets a big round table that all his friends can sit around until the end of time.
And a drone.
All right, we're moving. And a drone. Yeah, those things have to go together. And a drone. Moving into the third hour of halftime, we'll talk some high school football with Nate Olson during our second segment because the state championship games are arriving. And we've got the phone lines open in the next segment at 877-377-6963, so stay with us.
Picture a can of paint. Now picture a professional painter. Now picture a can of paint from the paint store in Van Buren, perfectly applied by a professional or possibly you. Painting your house could be a pain, and people who think painting as a pain prefer professional paint and pointers from the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store has the best Richards paint and expertly picked colors specifically for you. Need a professional product or a professional? It's the paint store in Van Buren.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products. like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and BV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly sunny sky. Our high this afternoon into the upper 40s. We will see clouds, a slight chance of a little rain, and overnight low will be right around the low 40s. Chance of a little rain on Friday, otherwise partly sunny. Our high temperatures into the low 60s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Third hour on halftime, taking you into the home stretch here on this Thursday. I know you got a lot of time in your day left, but not us in every case. Got a women's basketball game, 7 o'clock tonight. Saturday, the men are back on the court at 3 o'clock. Devo Davis will be back at Arkansas. I don't know what was going on for the past few days, but, I mean, at this point, it's bygones are bygones, and it was short, and he's back. And we'll get him and Nick Smith all on the court, potentially at the same time. And Matt Jones, Clay Henry, this is the first time that Arkansas will have the team at full strength at all. And it is, 8 games in or 7 games in. So it should be exciting to see these two guys getting at it. I'm interested to see. Now, I know they're still, managing Nick Smith's minutes. So, whatever it is that they're splitting time, if they are splitting time, it won't be necessarily what it looks like when Smith is in, I guess, game shape would be the right way to put it. But we'll monitor minutes of the players throughout the season, of course. But it'll be interesting, I think, to see, guys, whether Nick Smith does get some of those minutes that Devo was getting because, Davis is averaging 31 minutes per game. That is third most for this Arkansas team over the 6 games he did play. And, you get maybe a number 1 overall player in the entire country that's now going to come off the bench, at least for the time being. So I just wonder what that'll look like Saturday. I don't know if that really tells us what it will look like.
Yeah, Nick Smith is going to get a lot better, and the thing I want to get out of these next couple games is how's that knee feeling? How's he walking around? How's he moving around after the games? Is he going to be able to play? You know, when's he going to be able to play 20-something minutes? And Devo, Phil, Clay, I just think we need him on our team to have a chance to make a run. Like he's one of those ball players, so I'm glad that everybody's happy.
What I think about in Devo isn't what he does, say in a 30-minute performance, what he does in 15 minutes or 18 minutes. He's a guy that has shown that
you can count on him.
In the last 5 minutes, he can be a difference maker, that he's willing to make.
The moment's not too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Heart.
Yeah.
Now, he does some crazy things during the game that drive the coach just insane. And
is it kind of like Ron Artest crazy, or what?
Oh, just it's like you know better than to do that. You don't need to throw that bounce pass between your legs.
Okay, I got you.
You don't need to do this.
Like Neymar crazy. Like doing a click or a high heel for no reason.
I don't think Devo Davis is a change your name to what is that name crazy? I don't think he's a Chad Ochocinco in that case. Like what was Artest? What did he change his name to? Meta World Peace.
Yeah, Meta World Mishap. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's not like that, but he does. He does. Some people might say showboat or whatever, but he does some things that.
That's okay. That's personality, though, don't you think? That's kind of flair. It's like, okay, and coaches don't.
But that still doesn't make your coach happy.
I understand. There's a time and place for it. It was always kind of like it. You can't celebrate a first down catch when you're down 17. I kind of get it.
Yeah, and I will say. If you want to go 80 against Ole Miss and dunk it over the goalpost like you did, do that once. You can do that
on senior day when you're up 21.
Yeah,
that was I wouldn't have done it if we would have been down 21. Yeah, exactly.
You pick your spot, and I would imagine Houston just said, "All right."
He said, "Don't do it again." Yeah, that was your one. Exactly, because then you can't play the next week.
Yeah.
Did you get flagged for it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, they were
like 8 of them
from everywhere.
Yeah, they were ready to throw the flag down. Yeah.
And Matt, were they laughing as they threw it?
Oh, everybody had it. I mean, that was
the referees were laughing.
Clay, that play, and I think I've told you this story before, but we had put in an extra motion, an extra movement in out of a different personnel, and those two linebackers just run into each other. The one linebacker got and it just opened up, and I told Dow it was the only time we ran it that way all year. Only time I said, Dow, if we're up 21 and I break a long run, I'm throwing it down. And he's like, I bet you won't. One of those type of things. So it was.
Dow said that.
Yeah, he's like, but I was like, no, because who would have thought? I was like, it's senior day, we're up 20. Like it's like what's like who would have thought that? That's how it happened, just like that. It was wild.
Hey guys, we got some those in your life though. You get one. So, but Devo seems to do it in weird places, like just scratching.
Not understanding the moment, yeah.
And
as we got some callers on hold, let's take these phone calls while we got them. We got Charlie who's up with us first. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, man? Good to hear from you.
Oh, I'm an hour late. I apologize for that. Well, I was visiting.
You're fine.
The
You're on
Grand
no
Canyon.
clock with us. We're not sending you a check.
Well, I was visiting the Grand Canyon, Phil. You guys were talking, and I'm still here, so I've been trying to get the ball over there. But I can't swing it. I can't even get it off the tee. So I don't know about you, but my baseball, I played baseball, and I'm still trying to figure out how to swing a golf club without swinging it like a baseball bat. So that's my problem. Hadn't broken that problem yet. Matt, you play a little golf, don't you?
I like to play golf. It's something that keeps me active, something to do, and I got a good group of guys, and we'll go out there and play, and we have a good double bogey max rule. We keep it moving and play the music. Absolutely. And have a good time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's definitely a fun time. It's just I'm not very fun to play with because I suck at it.
So double bogey max, man. That's just how it goes, and you go drink a beer and try to get better. Yep.
That's what I need to do is drink a whole lot more beer before I play. Anyway, about Devo, you guys are right, and I think Clay brought up the best point. From the standpoint of under 5 minutes when the game's on the line, the dude just has ice in his veins. But do you guys remember the Auburn play last year? He's got the ball and he's going down. I'm going in my mind. I think we were up 4 or something. I'm going in my mind. Please don't dunk this, Devo. And he did. And if it wasn't for the fans storming the court there, we might have had a little. Do you guys remember the play that I'm talking about?
Auburn wanted some of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it would have been a little something if the fans don't storm the court like that. So. I mean, yeah, Devo has that in him.
The Auburn guys figured they were outnumbered.
Yeah, it might have been time to get on up out of there. But I do agree with you guys. Like, sometimes he makes you scratch your head. But one thing Muss does do, I think, Clay, you made another good point the other day. You were talking about the possession defensively, that he didn't stop the ball. And I think that probably, kind of, and if Phil's theory was correct, it kind of probably was hey, what are you doing, Devo? Like, he kind of lives with some of the things he does offensively, because I think Muss lets guys play with a lot of freedom, even though he wants to pull his hair out sometimes. But at the same time, if you bust your butt on defense and you get back and you play,
he does do that, yeah.
He does do it. But that one particular play, he did not. And if y'all's theory or Phil's theory was correct, I mean, whatever happened in that exchange, hey, it is what it is. I'm glad they worked it out, though, because we do need Devo. We only got 2 guys back from last year's team, so we need the experience. And
you know what it feels like?
There's one guy that's in charge. He's going to get his way.
But it feels like it's the kind of Thanksgiving holiday spat that every family has once every 2 years, and they're never going to talk to you again, and then 6 days later, everything's fine.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, thank you. And when you get alphas, I mean, there's a lot of alphas in the room, and you got to realize that the player does not. I've never seen a player beat the coach in an argument. I've just never. It just doesn't. Whatever team you're on, the coach wins. That's just how it is.
It's about getting the last say.
The coach wins. Nolan won, right?
He said, Jones, you can't even shoot good right-handed. He's yeah. No, it's whenever the coach says, man, that's just how it goes.
Cabbage Head, you're next on Halftime. Thanks for the phone call. How are you?
Hey, good, guys. Good show. Matt, like my dad, the policeman, used to tell me when you're talking about the coaches, he said, son, he may not always be right, but he's always the boss.
Got to do what they say.
That's right. That's right. A couple things, guys. You were talking about golf balls and baseballs in the Grand Canyon stuff. I don't know if y'all remember, but in the day of the Southwest Conference, when Arkansas would beat Texas, that was a big thing, and people in all over, not just Fort Smith, I guess, would go out and shoot their shotguns in the air. Maybe pull both barrels. And I'm wondering, when you're talking about the Grand Canyon, I'm saying, I wonder where that shot fell, because it had to hit something. What goes up must come down. So I don't know if people didn't really pay attention to what they were doing, but there was a lot of celebrating going on when Arkansas beat Texas. The other thing, I never did listen to the show last night that y'all do up at the Catfish place, and man, I was just really surprised. I don't know why, but when that Razorback team travels, and I'm a Army veteran, and they always took care of us when we moved to Saudi Arabia or we moved where. It was a big. Well, the Razorbacks, I didn't realize it, but they're the same way, man. Those people are hired to take care of those players and to make sure they have everything they need. And it was really impressive of when Sam Whitman was going over this and going over that, and this person handles this. But, you forget about that stuff sometimes. It's fun in games, and we got a game to play and stuff. But to move that team or to move an Army, it takes a lot of hands on deck, don't it?
Oh gosh, it's amazing. And when you see how they load the trucks with the equipment, I mean, it is a painstaking process that they pretty much jam into about an hour when the game ends on the road, and they're
efficient.
Scientific.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a couple of I can't remember their names that were on the coach's show yesterday that were detailing exactly what happens during these road trips. And it's just it's a lot of they're logistics people.
Do you guys see what like the Japan soccer team, how they leave their locker room, like how they clean everything? Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah. Not even a speck of dust on the floor. A little bit different with a football team, I think, an American football team. Cabbage Head, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for the phone call.
They've done some weird things through the years, and I don't mean weird, but just odd. There was a game somewhere. It might have been Starkville where they got bad food, and the team, about half of them, were sick, throwing up, and they thought that was done purposely by, the local people. So the next few years, Bielema, he had their cooks travel and set up a trailer and prepare all the food and bring it into the hotel. It's just like this is a little much, but he didn't want to ever have.
You can't have your players getting sick. Yeah, I understand. That's the easy fix, huh?
Yeah, we'll bring our own.
We'll take care of it from here on.
Bring our own people. And there are teams that do not hire local bus companies to pick them up. I know Alabama sends their own buses to meet their team in Fayetteville. Just think about the overkill of that. It's just a bus, guys. Well, we don't.
You have a flat tire, though. I know coaches that like that.
Ooh. Make sure that there's that somebody's not bugging the bus. And here's something we talk about. It's just
the baseball team does
paranoia.
that. Yeah. John, the bus driver, meets the baseball team wherever it is they fly. So they're always on the Arkansas bus. Jesse in Springdale has called us. Hi, Jesse. You're on halftime. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Was curious what y'all thought about it, about Nick Smith coming back. I know, half the battle with basketball is getting the players to build a chemistry together. And it seems like since the European games, since he's been out, that the guys kind of brought it together and have been playing pretty well. You think his coming back is going to bring the team a step back, messing up with the current chemistry going, or are they just going to plug him in for a few minutes until they kind of figure it out as they go?
I think it takes a little time, Jesse, but the good thing about this is that he's playing early December. I know he played on Monday, too, so there's still plenty of time.
You don't want any back steps, Phil. I don't. Right? Like you want to make sure he plays 6 minutes, and the next game he plays 9 minutes, and the next game he plays 12 minutes. You don't want him going backward now. Yeah.
Right, and it's early enough in the season where he'll be ready to roll by the time you're playing SEC teams, and hopefully by then the whole idea of how the chemistry has played itself out without him, they've started to figure out how to include him, because this was the guy the team was kind of built around. And he's been gone.
Well, they're unselfish, and he's the best player. So it's easy to integrate the best player. And Phil, the one thing I love about this team is they will pass the ball. You don't have I know Ricky Council IV is kind of taking over because he is our best scoring option, but they do not force a lot of shots. I love how this team plays.
And Nick, that's the way he played in high school. He got his teammates involved. He was not a ball hog.
Yeah.
In fact, if the people that watched him play, like, they would see little spurts.
He's just as good as passer. Yeah.
And they were like, I wish he would do that for, all 30 minutes. Well, his team was so good he didn't need to. And I think that's just the way he plays. I'll give you all two examples of great players that missed a bulk of playing time as freshmen. Corliss Williamson had a stress fracture at the start of his freshman year, and I think he missed 9 or 10 games to start. When he came back, he was obviously the best player on the floor immediately.
Joe Johnson missed his first.
And I was going to say Joe Johnson was next. Yep.
Yeah, he missed the whole first. He didn't get to play for until January, huh?
Yep, same deal. And
that's
as soon as they're out there,
and they won the SEC tournament. Yeah.
That would be one thing would be like, well, if your best player or a starter is out until January, and they maybe that might be a little difficult to mix things in with the whole way the team has played the first couple of weeks, or the first couple of months. But I think now,
2 months.
There's plenty of time for it to all work.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we handle them with care.
Also, a lot of time to. Hey, by the way, Jesse, thank you for the phone call, and we appreciate that very much.
Good question.
We're right up against the break, though. There is plenty of time, too, to enter the Champion Cycling bicycle giveaway at hitthatline.com right now. You have now until December 18th to do it. So you go to hitthatline.com, click on the free bike link, And leave your info, and you are entered to win either a Specialized Alley road bike or a Specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike at Champion Cycling in Fort Smith at 5500 Masters Road, online at championcycling.com, and on the phone at 479-484-7500. We're getting into the high school football championship games with Nate Olson from Scorebook Live next.
Baby, you're adorable, and only with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care?
See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Up to $12,000 off on premium pre-owned vehicles at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The biggest savings are right on the front row. The manager specials, huge variety, great selection, and even bigger savings with up to $12,000 off. Most of these vehicles still have factory warranty remaining, so you can buy with confidence. And nobody will pay more for your trade than Harry Robinson. Up to $12,000 off on pre-owned vehicles. Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Would you like to cut your heating bills without cutting comfort, lower your utility costs, while enjoying the reliability and efficiency of a new Luxair HVAC system? Have your contractor call J&B Supply to hook you up with a Luxair system perfectly suited for your home. Luxair provides optimal comfort, energy savings, and lasting performance. J&B Supply, where the professionals go for all their HVAC and plumbing needs since 1968. J&B Supply, with locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good Thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street across from Play It Again Sports or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask shelter insurance agents Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Jeff Clark in Fort Smith about a free insurance review.
Peace of mind in buying a quality and well-maintained vehicle is top priority at Carco Auto Sales. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley and eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and offers a variety of late model, low-mileage vehicles at unbeatable values. Come see the team at 2810 Midland Boulevard today or give them a call at 783-1722. You can check them out online at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales. When you're ready.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
High school football championship time coming soon. Starting tonight, actually. Got an 8-man championship tonight. Friday, plenty of games, too. Let's talk about that with Nate Olson from Scorebook Live. And, Nate, you ready to go with this? I mean, it's been an intense season already, and now you get an intense couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think I might as well just put a cot up there and stay, because going to spend a lot of time at War Memorial Stadium, the great stadium that is here in Little Rock, is really be showcased, especially this weekend. You know, the schedule's different now, so you've got a game tonight, the 8-man game, as you said, then tomorrow a 2A game at noon. That's new. That hasn't happened before. 2A has less teams in it, so it gets moved to Friday. So that second weekend, then tomorrow night, the Bryant game, 7A, Bryant and Bentonville, and then 2 games, 5A and 6A on Saturday. So a lot of football. We're looking forward to it, and you can find all the coverage, lots of previews and feature stories already on the site, and you'll just see more and more of that and game recaps as we move along the weekend.
Well, we get some really good Central Arkansas versus Northwest Arkansas games. You know, you got a Central versus River Valley in the 6A. But then, I mean, I know this wasn't one that we were going to be talking about, but I look at Carlisle and Hazen in the 2A game tomorrow at 12. These teams hate each other already. They've already played once this year. They've got a big rivalry, and they've got this 2A state title game at 12 noon. They're going to get the entire towns there for that ball game.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do any business in any of those towns tomorrow. I think the schools are shut down. I mean, I don't think there'll be many people left over there. And their coach, Joe Basank, and Hazen's coach, that is, said that, you know, whoever loses this game, it's going to be a long year because, you know, normally it's, you know, the bragging rights on the line, of course, but, you know, neither team has won a state championship. They've combined for 9 appearances. So this is, I mean, as big as it gets for them. I mean, just super huge, because one team will get the first championship in school history. It's against a rival. When I looked at the brackets, that's what I predicted, and I was hoping, because I think it'll be a great storyline. I think it'll be a really good game too. Those you know, Hazen only has 20 kids on their roster. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 kids. And Matt, you know how demanding the game of football is, more than, you know.
Well, those small towns, you got to play both sides of the ball. Yeah, that's football's when football's football. That's fun, man, at that age.
Well, and then, you know, a lot of the 2A teams have to do that, but think about 20. I mean, that pretty much means everybody on that roster is playing offense, defense, and special teams, and most of them aren't leaving the field at all. And so, you know, the 8-man game is great, and I think it's growing. It's going to be. I'm looking forward to going tonight to see. It's been a long time since I've been to a game since I left Iowa, but you know, I think that Hazen, that's a lot of pride and tradition there. That, you know, they could have went down, and they wanted to stay, you know, 11-man, and he said that, you know, every guy on that football team is tough as nails. They're all fighting. You know, Matt, you know how it is. A lot of bumps, bruises, and scrapes and stuff that doesn't heal till you get done playing, and it's probably even worse when you're playing every down. So I'm really looking forward to that. Friday afternoon, it should be a good crowd. Really looking forward to that game.
Man, those are some of the best memories, playing high school football with your buddies and going to battle. Around here, Greenwood versus PA, is that a rematch? How many times they played this year?
Played once. Greenwood beat them 33-23, and that was a kind of a weird situation where both quarterbacks, both of them are very good. Hunter Houston, Greenwood, Kel Busby, putting up tons of stats. He's been banged up a couple times since then even, but he had to leave the game. Houston had to leave the game, so Kane Archer, who we've talked about, Matt, the freshman, he finished that game off, scored a game-winning touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown late in the game on a 4th down in the red zone. They win. Now we're going to see, I think, to start off with, the original starting quarterback should be intact. Busby got banged up again
last week, but I think he is going to play. And so I think I said on this air that, before the first game, that whoever won this one would probably lose, or whoever won the first game would probably lose this one. PA is awfully hard to beat twice. They've got such a good staff, and so does Greenwood. I mean, this is two prestigious programs that find themselves in this position most every year, and from top to bottom, everybody on that staff can coach. I mean, it's really, really good. There's going to be some chess matches going on, and I think the first game, Greenwood, the key was that they fielded the onside kicks, and we talked about it before that game that about 3 or 4 weeks before the game, Chris Young, the coach at Greenwood, started to put in a period of during practice of working on onside kick coverage. So they had about 3 weeks of working on it before the game started, and they didn't muff one. And when PA, I mean, there's a percentage that, like, when they recover one, their winning percentage is, I can't remember exactly, but it's like when they get two or more, they don't lose. So that's a huge deal. And then stopping them on fourth down. Their defense stepped up, and I felt like their defense was better, and they played better that night. They bent but didn't break. They had some big stops, and Greenwood was able to score offensively when they needed to late in the game. Archer came in, saved the day again, the second time this season that he's come in relief and won a game when it was close or they were behind. So it's going to be very interesting to see, and will be interesting to see if either backup quarterback comes in. Brandon Kopp from PA has played well after that Greenwood game. Didn't play as well in that game when he came in, but after that he played better when he's had to play. So a lot of points probably scored, and bring an extra lunch or a snack because it'll go long.
Let me ask about the 7A game. Bryant's trying to win a fifth in a row. Bentonville trying to knock them off the pedestal. Is this the first time these programs have ever met? That's what I read on Scorebook Live.
Ever met in the championship? They've played.
Okay.
They've played in the playoffs before, and frankly, before Buck James got there, Bryant very rarely could beat a 7A West opponent. They would win the conference a couple of times, and then they would get to the playoffs, and they might win one game and then lose. Buck's been the big difference. He has been very good for them. He's put this program on another level, and I want to talk about Bentonville, but I was at the Bryant game and covered it, wrote the game story. 4 turnovers in the Conway game. They had 7 turnovers that they forced the time before, so 11 turnovers they forced in 2 games against a very good Conway team who still sits in our top 5, who beat Bentonville in week 1. And I think that a lot of people have asked me, how is Bryant doing this? And Kyle Sutherland, he's a main contributor. You see his name all over our site. He studies this inside and out, and we were talking about that game, and he said, Josh Rice, the young man that plays special teams, he's a senior. He had a scoop and score on kickoff team that put him up 14-0. He said, I've never heard of Josh Rice. And I said, that is precisely why they are as good as they are, because they have a tremendous amount of depth. Josh Rice probably would be a starting defensive back at a lot of programs. He's a senior backup. And then another guy, Ethan Primus, he had a 68-yard scoop and score. He told me that in the Friday night game, he played 33 plays or so. And against Conway the time before, he had 2 picks. So that guy's making the most of the time he's in there. But that shows you that what kind of depth. I mean, their starting cornerback, Miguel Graham, is committed to UCA. And, he didn't make any of the huge plays. So that just shows you that they run kids in and out. Their special teams is filled with really good athletes, and they've done very well with defense and special teams. That's fueled this run this year. They haven't been spectacular on offense, and you look at Bentonville, they have stepped it up defensively since the beginning of the year. They did not play well against Conway, gave up a lot of points, and since then, especially the last 3 or 4 games, have really stepped it up. And I think that's the key to beating Bryant. I think if you can stop the run, and make the young sophomore quarterback Jordan Walker pass the ball. He's done well. He's played well at times, but he threw 4 interceptions against Little Rock. Could have been 6. 2 were dropped. And so I think you put him in some tough situations, get him to make some mistakes, and get Bryant, uncomfortable. What are they going to do if they fall behind 14-0 in the first half? We don't really know. I mean, that hasn't really happened. They fell behind 7-0 against Cabot, and then came right back and tied the game a couple series later, and then didn't give up any points until a field goal, late in the third quarter. So the defense really saves the day for them this year. They have, but I do kind of wonder, what would happen if Bentonville could get a couple, maybe a cheap touchdown early, a turnover or something, and get them down. They're very physical. Joey Sua leads a huge offensive line, and Bryant's defensive line is not as big, but T.J. Lindsey is very athletic. He's a 3-star, probably going to be a 4-star DN that's recruited by everybody, and their front 7 is solid. So that's going to be something to watch, is can Bentonville block those guys, because not anybody really has been able to block that front 7 this year.
All right, Nate, we got about a minute because we're right up against it. I know we got other title games we'll get to next week. But just give me a thought on the 5A game Saturday at 12, Parkview and Shiloh.
Shiloh Christian's offense is awesome. I mean, Eli Wisdom, 3-year starter. He's done a terrific job, and he is a really good runner. And Bo Williams in the backfield, the running back. It's going to kind of come down to, can they stop Parkview's physical defense? Can they neutralize that? Parkview is deep. They're physical. They only lost to Bryant 20-10. That's going to be, in a nutshell, what's going to put Shiloh over the top, is if they can block those guys and keep their running game going. If Parkview can stop that, and they've got Bobby Boulding as their defensive coordinator, if they can neutralize them, then Shiloh could be in trouble. But no one's been able to do it. They've really gotten better every week, and Jeff Conway's done a super job coaching this team, moving them up from 4A to 5A.
All right, Nate, we'll leave it there. And then maybe next week we'll get into some of the coaching changes that have gone down already.
Absolutely, yeah. We can cover it all. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Got it.
Thanks, Nate.
Nate Elson, Scorebook Live here on Halftime. Hey, there's still a little time. We got about 8 days to get over to votebestnwa.com and vote for CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. In all the categories, they are up for Best Burger. They are up for Best French Fries. They are up for Best Cheap Eats at Vote Best NWA. That's the best of Northwest Arkansas. And, of course, they got the best burgers and fries anywhere in the state. So you might as well go over there and let them know that you think exactly the same. You can vote daily through December the 9th. You can even vote on multiple devices every single day. VoteBestNWA.com, voting for CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, Best Burger, Fries, and Best Cheap Eats. You can also vote for Halftime just by keeping your radio where it is right now, and we're coming right back.
The new Lotto game from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is creating new traditions for our players, like Vic from Texarkana.
For Lotto, I always play multiples of 7. It ain't math. That's just how many times I've been kicked by a horse. How's that lucky, you say? Well, I'm still here, ain't I?
Your numbers, your game. Play Lotto every Wednesday and Saturday for your chance to match 6 and get rich. Only $2 per play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Lucky number 7.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Shop Metters Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Stay warm this winter with a Honeywell 2-position heater for $44.99. Pick up a 44-piece Master Mechanic tool set for only $29.99. Complete your toolkit with a 29-piece DeWalt screwdriver bit set for just $11.99. Choose from a 16-pack of AA or AAA Energizer Max Alliance batteries for only $15.99. Grab an 18-gallon Sterilite storage container for just $9.99. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
The holiday season is the perfect time to reflect on our blessings. Four Corks Wine and Spirits is thankful for you this holiday season. You're invited to browse around up front in the gift shop for that special someone. Choose from a wide variety of handcrafted wines from the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar. From bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, or some of the coldest imports in town, Four Corks Wine and Spirits has it all. 8000 South Zero Street, just past the intersection of Massard and Zero Street. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, zero out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise, with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros yesterday. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
It's always the season for the outdoors. At the Tackle Box, experience the ultimate outdoor shopping experience this season. Custom-made fire pits, perfect for the backyard. Best selection of fly fishing supplies and materials. Guns on sale. Buy a gun and get a box of ammo for half price. Sporting gifts and decor, fishing supplies galore. Find the old and find the new. You never know what you'll find at the Tackle Box.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
GraySteelStructuresInc.com. That's Gray with an A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Anything sung by Christy McVie hit a little different anytime you heard it. Now it hits even more differently. A little sadder. At least we still have Stevie Nicks.
And not to be too sad, but the running back from Michigan is not going to play anymore this year.
Mozzie Smith. Oh, no, Blake Corum.
Yeah, he's done.
Smith is the defensive tackle that's got had a charge that stems from an incident in October, and he's just now been charged with it. Yeah, some sort of a. I didn't write it down because it just popped up earlier at the start of the show here. Yeah, concealed weapons charge for Mozzie Smith, starting defensive tackle for Michigan. So they may be down one of their dudes on the defensive line, and certainly down Blake Corum.
That might be bigger, the D lineman. How much are you impressed with the other running backs from Michigan, I wonder? I mean, because Blake Corum, obviously he was the number one back for a reason because he's amazing, but you are Michigan, and you have other running backs.
They look pretty amazing running all over Ohio State.
Right.
They look pretty darn good. Now we got a caller on hold. Let's go to John in Rogers. John, you're on halftime, and thank you for the phone call. What's up?
Well, I'd like to say hi. You have to forgive me. I'm a little under the weather with my voice, but Matt Jones would know me if he saw me because I used to drive the hog truck, the equipment truck. The gentleman was talking about traveling with the team, and it's quite the undertaking. I can tell you I had great times traveling with them back with Matt and Felix and McFadden and all them. Got to spend time with Matt. It was a wonderful time.
Heck yeah. How's it going?
It's going good. We saw you and your lovely wife. Oh, it's probably been 4, 5, 6 years ago over at P.F. Chang, and you remembered me when you saw me from traveling with the team, and it was great to see
That was
you.
the spot right there. Yeah, man. P.F. Chang's, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but I could tell you endless stories, but what was amazing to me, and my boys were in high school football at Pea Ridge at the time when we were traveling with the team, and of course we got to be on the sidelines, and out all the places we traveled, LSU was the place that we traveled and went down there during Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
And we rolled in there. Of course, we had to roll in with the truck on Thursday nights. They were talking about, you guys would do your walkthrough on Thursdays, and
we'd have to pack our bag. Yeah, we'd have to get you y'all's bag, but before that's the first thing we had to do.
Yes, right. And we'd pull out. You probably remember we had a white Peterbilt and with a hog on it, and we would pull out, and we had to be sitting there the next morning, for the team the traveling team there to get you all situated.
I talked to old Tim Chaney not too long ago. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell him John Hartberger said hi because he'll remember me. But those was a wonderful time.
I liked old Tim. Yeah.
Can I tell you a quick LSU story, or we got time, or I need to call back?
You got about a minute, John. If you can pack it into 60 seconds, we'd be okay.
Well, I'll just put it to you this. They treated us like royalty, and they told us whenever we got done with the game, to be cautious because they had fans could get ugly. We lost that day, and I didn't think we were going to get back to the tunnel to get to the truck because they were throwing bottles and everything at us, and they didn't know us after the game, you know what I'm saying? But they treated us like royalty before the game and everything. It was pretty ironic to see that change. But we enjoyed traveling with you guys, and just we listen to your show.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
John, thanks for the phone call. And I got to tell you, like when you travel with teams,
they put some hours in, Phil.
Well, the bus driver is just another member of the team. When it comes down to it, they're putting in hours that other people on the team are not, because you sleep on a bus, and the bus driver does not. At least if things are going according to plan. All right, we're going to break and wrap things up in a moment. Make sure you try and Lark when you get the opportunity. Lark, made by Washita Farms, is a full-spectrum seltzer infused with a perfect balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. There's no alcohol in Lark. None at all. So there's no calories, there's no carbs, there's no sugar either. It tastes like strawberry, guava, mango, grapefruit, and berry. And you can drink Lark as a mixer, or it works great by itself. Lark's available at your local adult beverage store, or go to larkhemp.com, and they can ship it anywhere in the state. larkhemp.com. Got to be 21 years of age or older. And we're wrapping halftime up after this.
It's good to be king and have your own way. Get a feeling of peace at the end of the day.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of...
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas.
For services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
At Alliance Motors, they pride themselves on listening to the needs of their customers. Everything they do is designed to make your car buying experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Visit them in Greenwood, 1305 West Center today. They realize you have a choice when buying your next vehicle, and their desire is to ensure you have the best car buying experience. At Alliance Motors, customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit them today and see for yourself the difference. Or visit them online at alliance-motors.com. Alliance-motors.com. Alliance Motors Greenwood.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Maybe somewhere near the back, where the bouncers won't attack. I think the world's about to end.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And wrapping things up with Clay and Henry here in just a moment. Just got to remind you, you've got another 11 days to enter the $15,000 free rent or mortgage for your sweepstakes. HitThatLine.com. You'll find the $15,000 sweepstakes button at the top of the page. Enter to win free rent or mortgage for a year. That's up to $15,000 worth, and it is courtesy of Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Matt Fowler at USA Mortgage and Mountain Home, and ESPN Arkansas, and, of course, HitThatLine.com. Maybe we'll get into more of this tomorrow, but did you see Gaylord Perry passed away earlier this morning? The legendary Hall of Fame spitballer, over 300 wins, over 300 strikeouts. And really, I mean, when you come down to it, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, a celebrated cheater. I mean, he was open about it. He wrote a book while he was still pitching called Me and the Spitter, in which he confessed to how he threw the spitter. So when you watch the movie Major League and you see Ed Harris talking about Bardol, Vegas, the guy Perry was the inspiration.
You know the guy in Meet the Parents that's he always makes me think of Gaylord Perry. That
well, because of something like milking the cat.
I'm trying to think.
That was Ben Stiller's character's name. You just got to be careful saying the last name.
Oh, you're
Right.
right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Yeah, that's right. I got a chance to watch Gaylord Perry pitch in an old timers game. He was wearing this was hilarious. He had a uniform on with 8 team logos on it. All the teams he pitched for in his career.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
The Ascent of a Woman with Al Pacino, the guy that plays the chancellor at the high school that's in Meet the Parents.
Gosh, I got to remember some of these. Somebody texted in earlier. We need to bring halftime homework back because I feel like there are too many movies.
James Rebhorn.
We need to bring halftime.
Rebhorn. How do you say his last name?
Yeah. We'll work on that next week.
That's Gaylord Perry.
And he had a brother. Who was Gaylord Perry's brother? Who was also a spitballer. It's Jim Perry was his name. Yeah. It's funny how that worked out too.
Them and the knuckleballers. You kind of put them in the category. Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. You know, you had the spitballers that were brothers, and the knuckleballers that were brothers. The Necros, Joe and Phil.
Yeah.
You would not want to be the catcher for any of those 4.
Who was the last good knuckleballer? Was it like R.A. Dickey? What was that? Was he played at Toronto in the Mets? Yeah.
That's right. Dickey won the Cy
Tim
Young
Wakefield.
Award. Wakefield was before
you want
that.
to go back to my days, Hoyt Wilhelm.
Yes. I remember seeing Gus Triendos' catcher's mitt when he had to catch Hoyt Wilhelm. It was like 3 times the size of his head. Nobody throws a knuckleball anymore. I think there's a kid for the Orioles that uses it. I don't remember his name, but it's pretty rare.
Who was the relief pitcher that was throwing the knuckle curve in the World Series?
Whoa.
Yeah, the knuckle curve is just it's really just a curveball that's held a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It's not really like a knuckleball.
That was Scott Tabor and Bill Bakewell's pitch.
Yeah. Some people call it the spike
79, 80.
All right, well, we've made it
and
to
they
the
said
end
it
of
was unhittable.
Fun show.
Another Thursday. Yeah, it can be unhittable sometimes. So can the knuckleball. And a spitball, well, you might hit it and you might get something in your eye at the same time. Clay, have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
Enjoyed it, guys.
Thanks, Clay.
Thanks.
Maddie, I hope you have a great long weekend. We'll miss you tomorrow.
Give Kevin a kiss for me.
I will. I'll miss you guys, too.
For Matt Jones, for Matt Travis, for Clay Henry, I'm Phil Elson. Ruskin and Zach are with you next. Now get up, get out, and get better.
From the very beginning, large